Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be trying the rest of my Sephora sale haul. I had a few things that I wasn't able to try in the first video that you might have seen by now. So we're going to try the rest of those today, but I don't have enough to do a full face of new things. So I thought for the other products, I'll just pick out some things that I love that you can get at Sephora. Some of my recommendations that I would recommend if you're looking to shop the sale. I think this is going to go up on the last day of the sale, so we're going to do a little bit of both, trying some new things and using some things that I know that I love. And if you're new here, my name is Blair. I do all kinds of beauty content here on my channel. I hope you'll subscribe and stick around, but let's go ahead and get into the makeup. Okay, so I've already done my SPF. I used my La Roche-Posay today. So let's get into primer. So I did not use this primer from Refy. The face primer, it's the Glow Sculpt. I used my Ciel primer in the first video. So I want to try this one today. I'm excited to try this. I've heard this is supposed to be really good for dry skin. And honestly, I was just curious about the packaging. So this is the one that has the little roller ball thing on it. And I think you just squeeze it like this until you see, yeah, some of the product kind of come out of the sides. And then, yeah, so then you just start rolling it on your face and you stop squeezing so you don't get too much product. Ooh. It feels kind of like a gel applying on my face. So I'm just gonna apply this all over because I think this is really just supposed to hydrate the skin really well. The only thing about it is I have a feeling it may get kind of messy because the product comes out of the sides right here, these little cracks. This is where it comes out. I feel like it might like make a mess over time. I don't know. We'll see. And I also don't know if I'm supposed to like rub it in. I feel like I got a little bit more on this side than I did on the other side. I didn't want to keep squeezing it because I was afraid that would give me too much, but I feel like maybe I got a little bit more on this side. All right, it's been like 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes, and I think it has set down. I mean, I think it definitely added some glow to my skin, a little bit of hydration. My skin also feels a little bit tacky, like not really super sticky or tacky, but it does have like a little bit of a bounce to it, I guess. Like it would be a good base for makeup. And it did not peel my sunscreen underneath, which is a good thing. So I don't know. I kind of like it. I feel like the packaging might get kind of messy, like I said, but I don't know. We'll have to see. So let's move into foundation. I only purchased one during the sale, which is this one from Givenchy. And I was going to use that again, but I think I'll use this. This is kind of like my go-to foundation right now, or one of them. The Makeup Forever HD Skin Hydra Glow. This is if you have normal to dry skin. Definitely something I would recommend. And mine is like a perfect shade match for me. This is shade 1N06. I'm gonna use my 115. Honestly, this has been like the only foundation brush I've been using. It's time for it to be washed, honestly. But I'm constantly using this one now. I'm kind of reaching for this one over my 106, which is surprising. I'm just kind of grabbing a little bit more off the back of my hand as I blend this, but probably gonna have to take these earrings out. Every time I film with these big hoop earrings in, I end up taking them out like 5 minutes into the video because like I love them, but they kind of get in the way. I think I'm gonna stop there. That was about one pump of that foundation. But I'm going to use my concealer to add a little bit more coverage in a minute. But it does look really good over that primer. Really, really good. It still looks very hydrated. That's a very hydrating foundation. So my skin still looks like that. It looks very smooth, but I still have that very like hydrated finish that I really like. It's not pilling, so that's a good sign. Because y'all know me if you watch my videos a lot. Sometimes I have a lot of trouble with primers making things pill and act weird. But this one looks like it's gonna be okay. So I'm gonna take some of my Caliray corrector and apply that under my eyes. I don't have a new corrector, but this one is one of my favorites at Sephora because it's very hydrating. It's very thin. It doesn't give a ton of coverage, but I'm going to use a fuller coverage concealer, so I don't really mind. I mainly like this because of how thin and hydrating it is. So I just added a little bit of both shades that I have. So I have Cool Sunrise, which is the darker one, and then Radiant is the lighter one that I just put right there. And I do like to let this one sit for a minute so I can get as much coverage from it as I can. And I'm just gonna start blending that in with my Smashbox brush. This is the blurring concealer brush. For concealer, I think I'm gonna use my Hourglass. This is the shade Silk. This has been a favorite concealer again. For me, this used to be a favorite a while ago. And then Natasha Denona came out and I kind of abandoned it. But I pulled it out again recently and I love this. It is a little bit more on the matte side, so when I use it, I typically like to pair it with a more hydrating base, like the Makeup Forever, because it definitely is more on the matte side, but I do find that I really like it when I pair the two together. So I pair a matte concealer with a really hydrating foundation, or vice versa. I do a more matte skin tint and then a really hydrating concealer. So that's kind of how I do it, kind of balance out the textures and the finishes. And blending with the same 115 brush first. And then, let's see, I may switch to a different brush under my eyes in a minute. Maybe I'll try this refy brush, this complexion brush. It's dual-ended. I didn't use this in my haul video. It has a smaller side and a larger angled side. So I'm going to try using the small side to blend in the concealer. It's a little bit fluffier than what I would typically use. It's kind of similar to my N14, but it's a little bit larger, a little bit fluffier, not quite as densely packed as this one. And then I'm going to switch back to the 115 on my face for this side. And then I think I am going to go back to my N14. This is one of those brushes I just can't seem to quit. Even when I try other brushes for under the eyes, I just always go back to this one. There's just something about it. It's just perfect in every way. All right, I did not buy a new cream bronzer, so I'm just gonna use my Westman Biscuit. I did buy the Westman Duo, as you may know, with Petal and Biscuit in it. And I guess I could have used it today, but I don't know. I got so frustrated with that powder duo the other day because it just was not easy. It was very, very difficult to use. And I just kind of got frustrated and haven't really been wanting to use it again, even though I know I need to play around with it some more. I don't know. But like the cream, I never have trouble with it at all. It's just so easy. And the powder is just, or at least the times I've tried it, the powder I have not had the same experience with. So I don't know. I just kind of got some on the back of my hand and worked it into the brush. And I'm using the other end of the refy brush. I was reading through the comments on the video where I tried it, my haul video, and there were some comments on there that said that you had purchased it and you liked it. And then there were some other comments on there that said you had seen other reviews where people were saying the same thing, that it was not easy to blend, that it kind of went on patchy. So I don't know, it seems to be a very like polarizing product. Some people really like it and some people don't like it at all. I don't know. It's interesting how divided products can be like that, but you know, makeup is so individual. It's very personal. And you know, as much as I would love for like everything I love for all of you to love and everything you love for me to love, that's just not the way it works, you know? Makeup is so personal, and sometimes things that work for you don't work for me, and that's okay, you know? We're all different. But I'm not gonna lie, I was really disappointed in that duo. I really wanted to love it because I love so many Westman products. All right, I am gonna use a powder blush today. I'm either gonna use the other Westman duo or I'm gonna use the YSL color that I got in Pink Voltage because I haven't really used either of those. But before we do that, I think I am gonna just lightly set my face with a little bit of powder. So we're gonna use the Givenchy again in shade number 3. And I'm just gonna kind of use a really large brush. Like there's barely any powder on this brush. But I'm gonna use this and just kind of lightly go over my face with this, just in case we have issues with the powder blush not applying well, because now I'm paranoid about applying powders over a base that's not like super set down. So I'm just taking, I mean, there's very, very little powder on here. And we'll see. I did not love that powder with a puff when I tried it in the other video. I did like it a little bit more with a brush, and it looks like today I'm gonna feel the same way because it looks like it did when I used the brush the day before. So I like it that way. I'm just not a huge fan of the puff with it so far, I don't think, but I'm gonna keep testing it. All right, now, which blush do we use? Do we use the Westman blushes or do we use the YSL? I kind of want I'm like scarred by the Westman now. I'm scared it's gonna like ruin everything. I also have the YSL blush. I think I'm gonna try to use, this may be a bad idea, but I think I'm gonna try to use this Mimi color from the Westman duo. I'm just gonna try to be really, really careful with it. I'm gonna use this A507 from BK Beauty. Kind of get some on the brush and tap it off. I'm afraid to go overboard with this color. This brush does have a little bit of blush on it already, I think. That's pretty. I don't know if that was mainly Mimi or it has a little bit of this blush. I used this brush with a little bit of Mimi and a little bit of Petal the other day. I wiped it off really well, but I feel like there was still some left on the brush, but oh well. I'm gonna kind of tap it off again. I mean, I like whatever just went on my face. I just don't know if it was Mimi, Coquette, or Petal, or a combination. Okay, see, like I like that, whatever that was. Okay, I don't know. I know it was a Westman blush and I know it was one of the powders, but I'm wondering, it was probably like a mixture of all of them. But see, like that applied pretty well. These duos have really got me stumped. I really don't know. Okay, I'm gonna take my foundation brush and just kind of tap over it a little bit. I don't know. I like how it looks, but I don't know which blush exactly that was. So it seems like Biscuit is the one that's causing all the problems, because this is the one I seem to be having the trouble with. I don't know. Let me know. I'm curious. I want to hear from more of you if you've tried the duos, because a lot of you said that you had tried them. And it seems like everybody has a different opinion or a different experience. I kind of want to put on a little bit of this too, but I really don't need to. I'm probably going to do it anyway though. I'm going to use a really fluffy blush brush because I don't want to go overboard as I apply a hot pink blush. I'm going to take just one little dip and apply it right there. Oh my gosh. So I bought this color because I see Andrea Ali here on YouTube use this color a lot, and it looks so good on her. Every time she uses it, I'm like, oh my gosh, that shade is so pretty. It looks so scary in the packaging because it's hot pink, but it's so pretty. And these blushes actually are easy to apply and easy to blend. You don't really need to worry about that when you apply them. And if you ever feel like you go overboard, they're very easy to fix. So you can go like this very easily and tone down the pigment if you want. But I do love that hot pink. I do not have a new highlighter, but I do have this new brush that is technically a highlighter brush. I was going to use it for powder, but we use that really large powder brush. So I'm going to try this for a highlighter, and I'm just going to use this one. This is in my everyday makeup right now. It's a beautiful highlighter. You can get it at Sephora. It's very expensive, but it's beautiful. I'm going to use, or actually I'm just going to mix a little bit of both. But this is the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Duo in Mood Light. And I'm just going to kind of grab a little bit of both shades and just put a little bit of that right there. This highlighter is so pretty. It's not like a blinding highlight, so it's not something where it looks like highlighter. It kind of looks like, I don't know, like the Hourglass powders. You know how they give you like that glow, but not like a shimmery glow. It's just like a kind of like a lit from within glow. This kind of gives you that same thing. And this, by the way, is the Sephora 98 brush. It's a really good size for highlighter or for powder, concealer, whatever. Okay, no new brow products, so I'm just going to use one of my tried and true ABH brow powder in medium brown. Did y'all see that Natasha Denona released 2 new shades in her concealer? In the High Glam concealer, there's like a really, really fair shade. Like I don't know if it's the fairest shade or it's just one of the really fair shades. It's like 0.5 neutral, I think, which is good because I do think maybe that was one thing that was kind of lacking in the shade range was the super fair shades. So they added that, and then the other shade I ordered because I was curious and I really wanted to try it. It was, I think it's RN 2.5, so Rosy Neutral 2.5. So she had a Rosy Neutral 1 and a Rosy Neutral 3, and I use Rosy Neutral 3 under my eyes all the time. It's a really nice rosy shade, like a cooler shade, but it's a little bit neutral. It's not like super, super pink. But this one I think is going to be the same undertone, but just a little bit lighter. And online in the swatch, it looked a little bit, maybe a little bit more of like a peachy pink. So I ordered it because I want to know if it could be used as like a color corrector or if it would work for me at all. So I did order that, but I thought that was interesting. It's just 2 random shades that she added. That just happened like a few days ago, but I can't wait to get that one and see how that shade is for me. So I'm just using the light taupe color. I used to kind of mix them and use the dark one and the light one, but I don't know why lately I've kind of been into just using the light one. All right, and then I'm just gonna use another tried and true favorite, my Benefit brow setter, to set them in place. Let's move into the eyes. Of course, I want to use the new YSL quad that I got. This is the shade 710 over Brune, and we did not use this in the first haul video. So I'm going to use that palette. But before we do that, I'm going to apply a little bit of eye primer. This is the Rare Beauty one, just so the shadows have an even base. Honestly, my eyes really aren't that red right now, but figured we'll do it anyways. So I'm just gonna apply a really, really thin layer of that all over. I'm gonna start with the matte brown in this palette, so this one right here. And one of the reasons I really wanted this palette is because the other YSL palette that I have that's most similar to this one is 300 Caspa Spices. And that one has a matte brown in it as well, but it's very orangey, like a very, very orangey brown. And I don't use that one as often for that reason. I wish the brown was just like a little bit more neutral. And this one looks like a little bit more of a neutral shade brown. And it definitely is, because like in the other palette, when I use it, it looks very, very orange on me, like right away. So I honestly might sell that one on my Mercari and just keep this one instead, because I think these colors probably go better with my skin tone. So I'm just using the Refy 01 brush, and I'm just kind of applying that all over on the lid, and then I'm bringing it up to the crease as well. I'm not packing this color on because I kind of want like a lighter wash of it. So I'm holding my brush really far out so I don't deposit too much, because I want just a really light wash of that shade. Yeah, I definitely prefer this shade for sure over the one in Caspa Spices. It's just a little bit more neutral. Now I'm going to go into the gold metallic, so this one right here, and I'm going to use a different brush for this. This is a Refy 14, and it's kind of fluffy for this, so I don't know how well it will work with this metallic shade, but I'm just going to try it. And I'm just going to kind of make like a little circle on the very end of my eye. Kind of circle up and drag it over into the crease. This is what I love about this formula. It's hard to explain unless you've used it, but it's so creamy and just buttery that it's so effortless. Even if you have like very little eyeshadow experience, these shadows, I'm telling you, you can use them. Now I'm going to go back into the Refy 01, and I'm just gonna, I didn't add any additional product or anything. I'm just kind of buffing out this outer edge here because I want it to look as soft as possible. Now I'm going to switch to this color. So this is like a dark, kind of looks brown, but it also kind of looks purple, kind of like an eggplant color. And I'm going to use the Refy 03, and I'm really kind of tapping that shade off because I don't want it to be too much right away. And I'm just going to start applying a little bit of that along the lash line and kind of building it up on that outer corner. I'm going to switch to a 204 from BK Beauty. It's a lot more densely packed, and I'm going to add a little bit more of that shade. This is one brush type that I don't have a ton of, like small little lash line brushes for darker colors. I applied that, and then I'm going to take that first brush that we used again and just kind of smudge it out. Switching to the Refy 14. I'm going to try this one. There we go. I want it to look like really smoky, I guess, is what I'm going for. Finally, the most exciting part, we're going to use the topper. I love the toppers in these YSL palettes. So I'm just going to use my finger and just press that onto the lid. This one is kind of like, looks kind of like a pink, but it has like gold and silver reflex in it. Oh, it's pretty. Very, very pretty. For the lower lash line, I'm just mixing the first two shades that we used, so the brown and the bronze. And I'm gonna apply that on the lower lash line. I don't love a lot of dark shadow for me personally. I just feel like it pulls my eyes down. I don't know, it's not my favorite. So I usually keep my lower lash line pretty minimal. Before we move into mascara, I am gonna take that Laura Mercier Caviar liner that I got in the haul. I did use this the other day, but y'all, this is such a good liner for your waterline. I actually realized when I went to look it up to link it for that video, this is actually made to be a tight line eyeliner. I didn't even really realize that, but it is, and it does actually stay in the waterline. It's so good. No one is talking about these. I don't know why. For mascara, we're going to use the Makeup by Mario Master. I almost said Master Matte. That's the name of his palette, not the mascara. The Master Mascara. I have worn this, I guess this will be my third day wearing it in a row, and no flaking, no smudging at all at the end of the day, and it actually comes off pretty easily, even though it's a very like volumizing thick mascara. It comes off really well and really easily. I was a little worried about that, but I have not had any issues with it. But it gives you some lashes for sure. I mean, that was just one coat. It's good. It's very good. Last, for the lips, the only new lip liner I had was the Tower 28 one that came in the kit. And I kind of want to use that, but I also pulled out the Merit lip liner because I really, really like this so far. This is the shade Tabac. It's a really pretty brown. And let's see, what else did I pull out here? I have my Westman lipstick in Petal, which is another one of my recommendations. I love this in this color. I think I'll do a little bit of that. And then I want to do a little bit of gloss on top. So I'm either going to do the Refy or the Makeup Forever. Maybe we'll do the Refy one. This is their tinted lip gloss in the shade Taupe. Ooh, that's a pretty lip combo. All right, that is it for this video and for this makeup. The things that we tried today, I feel like overall were really good. We didn't try too many new things. Like I said, I kind of mixed in some things I know that I love with some of the newer things. But first, the Refy primer. I don't know, but I have high hopes for this because it didn't make anything pill. And that's number one for me with primer, because that's what happens to me 9 times out of 10 when I try a new one. But this did not make that foundation pill. And the foundation went on beautifully. I feel like even overall, like my skin just finish and texture looked really good with foundation over the top today. So I'm wondering if maybe it has to do with this. I don't know. I'll have to keep testing it. And I gotta keep using it to let you know if it really does get like super messy, because I'm afraid that it might. But I don't know. I'm kind of into this for some reason. It's kind of gimmicky, I know, but I don't know. I was curious about it. So I'll keep using it and let you know, but so far so good with the primer. Now the blushes, none of the blush looks bad today. I just don't know which shade it is really that's like primarily on my face. I just know that I used this brush to apply Petal the other day and to apply Mimi, and I applied a little bit of this color today as well. This is Coquette, this is Mimi. I applied a little bit of Mimi today, but I think it had a little bit of Petal and Coquette already on the brush. So I'm guessing we have a little bit of all of them on, and the blushes applied well today. So I don't know, guys, I really don't. I'm gonna keep using these and I'll update you in a future video on my thoughts, but I guess my main issue is with Biscuit. The blushes seem to apply okay. But the other thing we did do today is use the Givenchy powder very lightly all over with that big powder brush. So I don't know if that made a difference or not, but we did do that today. So the jury is still out on these, but I'm gonna keep using them and I'll update you in another video. The YSL blush, I added just a tiny little bit of, so you can't see a ton of it, but these, like I've said many times, I recommend, and I think anybody would like these blushes, whether you like matte or the satin finishes. This one is matte, and I know this looks super scary, this pink, but it really is such a blendable formula that it's very easy to apply, even a color like this, which is crazy. But I'm happy that I bought this. Now I have 3 of them and I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. I love the packaging, I love the formula, and they just make me feel good when I use them. So very happy with that. The Givenchy powder, I'm wondering, we did use this before, so this was not like a brand new thing today, but I feel like it looked good when I used that really big brush and just kind of lightly applied it all over. So I don't know, maybe that's how I'll use it in the future. The other day when I did it with the puff, it just looked really heavy to me and really dry. So maybe that's gonna be the key with this, is I'll use it maybe as like a finishing powder or just with a really big brush lightly all over. Because today I actually didn't feel like I needed any more powder than that little bit that I used with the big brush. So we'll see. We will see. Let me know if you've tried this and what you think of it. But again, I'll update you. And what else? Oh, of course, the eye palette from YSL. This is beautiful. I have tried this formula many times though. This is just a new shade. But I do really like these colors. I feel like these colors work well for my skin tone. They're not too warm. I really like these. I'm happy with this purchase. I honestly might sell my 300 shade, like I said earlier, because I feel like I'll use this color story more. But this I love, and I'm not surprised by it. I've loved those for a while. I guess nothing else was really brand new. The Makeup by Mario mascara, I mean, it's a gorgeous mascara. It's a very intense mascara, if that's what you like. I haven't had any issues with it. No flaking, no smudging. It's just a very intense look that you have to be, or you have to want. But it's nice, I really like it. And the lip is not really brand new. I guess the gloss is pretty new, but I do like this lip combo, I have to say. But I hope you enjoyed hanging out, using a few new things, a few older things with me, and getting ready together. I'll have everything that I used listed and linked as always in the description box and in YouTube shopping. I believe this is going up the last day of the Sephora sale, I think. So if you want anything, it will all be there for you, linked with shades and everything. And if you do shop through my links, thank you so much. I do make a commission that supports me and my channel. So thank you so much for that. If you're new, I hope you'll stick around and subscribe. Make sure to follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. And I will see you again very soon. Remember, simply be you.